PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people.
Real Talk Live with Dr. Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. And God we trust.
Positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking.
Good evening. Welcome. How y'all doing today? This is your host, Dr. Rodney Grimes. We're on the People to People podcast. You know what I do. I come to you, I bring good information. I bring good community information. We try to bring it in from all different areas. It's Motivation Monday. And I have a guest in with me today that's doing some very, very unique things in the community, but also has a good background in the area of firearms and just quite a few positive things that he'll be able to share with us. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Eric Gilliam. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, you pronounced it better than me.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing, my brother?
Good.
Hey, welcome.
I say Eric.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Man, I'm first of all happy that you're here, and just getting a little brief information on you due to someone we both were acquainted with,
Right.
James Harley.
Absolutely.
He told me about you, and he spoke very highly about the things that you were doing and how you were helping different people in different areas. But also, he was just really fascinated about the information that you had on about firearms. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into that as far as the firearms?
How I got into firearms?
Yes.
I don't know, I'm trying to figure out where to really start. As an instructor, or just how the whole story came about?
How it came out.
Okay. So I came up, I was impacted by firearms at an early age. My uncle, he got shot in front of me when I was 5. The first time, some guys tried to rob him, and he got shot. And I watched him, drop to the to the floor. That was my first experience. That was the first time I ever heard of a gun. That's the first time I heard of the word and seen the damage that it can do. The first time somebody pulled a gun out on me, I was 13. He pulled an older guy in his 20s, pulled a gun out on me. And the first friend that I had a friend that got killed and shot and killed and stuffed in a vacant house at 13 years old. So that's kind of like my introduction, right? But how I got to become a 5-star rated, ranked #1 firearm instructor in Towson, Maryland. About 13 or 14 years ago, I owned a trucking company. I owned G&W Contractors, and I got into this space I got licensed to carry. For some reason, even coming up the way that I came up, we didn't know how to legally own a gun, right? And so I just explained all of those instances where guns impacted me or my family or my friends in a negative way. But I don't know nobody that I know how to legally protect themselves. That don't make sense. Somehow we've been having a false sense, and I don't know how all of this came to me. I think God gave it to me. The way I understand it, the way it came to me, the way I educated myself on it, and the way that I understand it, it didn't seem to make sense for the community that I grew up in to be impacted so much by violence, and nobody legally can protect themselves. The only people 13 years ago to be able to protect themselves was people that was on the streets that had illegal guns. So if I and I know families that have been attacked and not been able to protect themselves, and a whole households died just because they put the responsibility in somebody's hand, the police hand or the government hand, to protect them, when somehow it weighed on me real heavy. And I tried to convince myself, and since 2003, I changed my life. I said, you know what? I told myself I don't need no illegal gun. I thought I was a bad because I had an illegal gun.
Right.
But it was based off. I came to that conclusion off of ignorance and not knowing how to, not knowing that I had a legal right to. I had a constitutional right to do it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't fit right on my spirit to just be sitting, just because I'm a good person, that I had to sit here like pray, right, to be prayed upon. So I started learning about the process on how to legally own a gun and legally carry a gun. And it was still fearful. Even though I learned it, it was in my mind, I understood how to do it. I had the knowledge to do it, but I was paralyzed. I couldn't take the steps for some reason. And I'm like, what is that? What is that all about? So I told my family and said, hey, I'm getting ready to get my gun license. My family said, what you need a gun for? You want to kill somebody? And I telling people in my church, I said, I'm ready to get a gun license. What, you want to rob a bank? So right then and there, it's telling me that we can't connect a black person with a gun to nothing positive.
Man.
I would like to ask you, let's go on stereotypes.
Right.
What is a black person with a gun?
A person with a gun.
Stereotypical.
Oh, well, a dangerous person.
A criminal.
A criminal.
Right? The movies already, that society got it set up that way.
Right.
What is a Latino person with a gun? Stereotypically.
And a foreigner does.
What is a Latino person with a gun? Latino.
Yeah.
What do society? A gang member?
Yeah.
A cartel?
Or something like
something
that.
like that. All right. Most people get this right. Everybody get confused with the other one. What is an Arab with a gun?
Oh man, they would think he a terrorist.
A terrorist, right?
Yeah.
All right. What is a white person with a gun?
To me, a maniac.
No. Yeah. Now, all right. Now, stereotypical.
Yeah.
What is the stereotype with a white man with a gun?
Somebody, to me,
a patriot. Yeah, I gotta understand.
Yeah, but
the world stereotypically, the world look at them as a patriot or somebody.
Well, they would say that.
That's what they say.
That's what they would say, but that's how it is. But I follow you,
right?
Because I fear white man with a gun more than I fear a black man.
Right.
Me personally.
Right. And so, but society has it set up, and you must have a certain amount of information to feel that way. But the way with people that without it's like a no-brainer, something you don't have, it's like instinctively these stereotypes that are out there.
Well, the reason why I feel like that is because of the stereotype.
Okay.
Because I know what it's like when a white man have a gun and he's up against a black man. Automatically, he's intimidated, or look at him as a criminal, or stereotyped him as somebody violent. Right. So I follow you on that. But
14 years ago, I asked myself them questions, and why is it like that? So I got my gun license, and people were scared. I did it legally. I don't have no illegal guns. I did this legally. I thought it would have been a thing to be proud of, and people were in fear for me. Like, I went through this whole process. I went through a 2-day course, 16 hours, paid the money. I waited 7 days I waited 30 days to go through the background check. They approved me. Then I had to wait 7 days once I found a firearm to be able to purchase one. Then I waited over 90 days to be able to carry it. I'm thinking, but my family and friends were in fear for me, a black person, legally to be out in public with a gun legally.
Yeah.
But the way I was able to do it was I own G&W Trucking, a construction company. And I'm a deacon in the church, so I'm handling money, and I have real estate. So that back then Maryland was a may issue state. You had to go through this whole process. So I think that I don't listen to the radio. I don't have no. I just be thinking about plans, thinking about. I just think.
Yeah.
So I'm I, I'm like I started doing research and I found out that at that time, this is 13, 14 years ago, we 13% of the population, blacks didn't even own 1% of firearms
Legally.
legally.
Yeah.
Good point. Because we know the streets got guns.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm talking about legal, working
Right,
class, coaches, bank workers,
Right, yeah,
teachers,
Yeah.
you know, stay at home moms,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they didn't own guns.
Right.
And so I said, all right, let me look and let's see how much white America owned. It's the data at that time said 3% of white America own over 90% of guns. That didn't sit right. It didn't sit right. And I said, why? How do I know this? What's special about? Don't nobody else know this? But I felt a real big burden on me, but I felt like this was too big. I can't. What can I do about this? I can't do nothing about this. This been like this way before I came here, way before I was born. So I started I started talking to my parents and grandparents. Why y'all don't own a gun? They can't connect it to nothing positive. They thinking only criminals have guns. So we've had this false sense of security, and we've been telling ourselves that there's a lot of negative stereotypes with guns also. There's a lot of fear
Yeah.
through lack of information. So I had to go get that information to make it make sense, not just with my neighbor. Always, me and Brother Harley, we want to know who, what, when, where, and why. When you can answer those questions, then you move on.
Yeah. Now, and I just want to interject here and say this.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people that the gun is not the problem.
Absolutely.
See, so a lot of people would say, man, having a gun is a dangerous thing. No, it's the person.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about these things, you being able to protect yourself, and that's why we need people like you to educate us on understanding the process of being able to protect yourself, because you want to be able to do that.
You want to be able to do that because that's the only thing that logically makes sense. And when I went, the reason at that time, why less than 1% of blacks own guns legally? And I'm going to the root of it. And I went to my parents, went to my grandparents. Then I go back further. The furthest I can go back to it is around 1715. And let's just speak about, this isn't every state, but since we in Maryland, let's speak about in Baltimore, Maryland. That's where I'm from, Baltimore.
Okay.
In 1715, in Annapolis, they passed bills for slaves. It'd be illegal it was laws for slaves for it to be illegal for a slave to own a gun. That's where this stuff is all rooted at, right? So it was illegal for slaves to have guns. And then after 1860, 68, after the emancipation, after they so-called freed the slaves, then they made black codes. So you had slave laws. Then after we free now, we not slaves. Then they made laws that say freedmen and ex-slaves is against the law for us to own guns. Then after the 1960s, the Black Panthers, they started educating themselves to figure out how they can legally protect their community. Legally, they operated within the law.
Right.
And then more gun reform happened, gun restriction through government, through COINTELPRO, right? FBI, to you so they won't be able to protect themselves, right? So then I learned I train over 2,000 people. Every time I have a class, we can have, say, 15, 20 people in the class. We ask everybody who know what the Second Amendment is. I'll say 100% of our white students know what the Second Amendment is. And if they can state it word for word. And I'll say maybe 3% of blacks know what the Second Amendment is. All right, the Second Amendment is the right for a well-regulated militia, the people, to be able to protect themselves, um, and to bear arms and protect themselves against a tyrannical government, and it should not be infringed upon, right? And when I asked our white students, when did you learn that? They said for as long as I can remember. They always know it. And in our class, I don't care if they from 21 to 80, they not over 95% of them or 97% of them learned it that day, right? So I found a purpose, and it was a long journey, but in 9 years I was able to single-handedly educate my friends that would listen, because having this conversation was uncomfortable 14 years ago, was uncomfortable to people, and it almost seemed like I was an extremist. Right. This is how it felt like that he's radical.
Right.
So what happened? It took about 9 years. I helped over 100 people that I know become legal gun owners, just by connecting the resources to them and kind of holding their hand through the process. And one of my friends came back to me, like a real close friend. He came back to me and said he owned his license. He got his gun license. He owned a restoration company. And he said, man, I talked to a couple of our friends. They said you kind of inspired them and pushed them to get a gun license, just like you helped us, like you helped me. And he said, why are you not an instructor? And I started thinking about it. And I'm not the one to come up with a lot of excuses. I couldn't find no reason why not. I started thinking about the time and the energy that I've been putting behind it. And so that's what made me become an instructor. But I'll tell you that my relationship with people changed. This when I became necessary to. This been necessary, but this when people realized he was right. And I don't know if you can relate. When the pandemic happened around 2020, I got my phone. I got so many phone calls, because when it came down to a lack of resources, and it came down to people not, they seeing the shelves are empty and like that. What if somebody come in my house and start like, what can I do?
Yeah.
Dad, let me call her.
Yeah.
But so that's when I became. People wanted to hear what I was saying now.
And okay, now, so, and this is something in my mind is going here. I'm a former Marine, so I understand guns, and I've traveled and used many of them. One of the things that I realized, again, in the community in which we grow up, we are stereotyped. So to have a gun, a lot of people look at it as a taboo, something like that. But you should be able to protect your home and protect your family, your loved ones. And we live in that type of world.
Absolutely.
So we understand when we go back to the history, that by the structure of America was to make sure that people of color or different ethnic backgrounds other than white were not able to protect themselves against them. And they had the upper hand. And as we continue to do so even today, and that's why I appreciate you coming on to the program to educate us and talk to us and let us know the importance of having a firearm. It's not because you want to hurt anybody, but you want to protect your family. You want to protect your property as well. But also you want to be able to protect your country.
Absolutely.
Because we do have terrorists. We do have people that come from other places that want to do bodily harm to us. How can you do that if they got a gun and you got a knife or a baseball bat? You got a problem.
I'm going to tell you what people say. And I'm going to tell you what. I always ask my class, whose job is it to protect you? I ask them. Some people say the government. Some people say it's the police job to protect and serve. That's a slogan. There was a slogan. I share this case with people. There's a case called Warren versus DC, where 3 women were in an apartment. Two men was breaking into the apartment. They called the police. The police Said we sending somebody on their way. 15 minutes later, they get in the house. The young woman called the police again and said, we hear him in the house. How long the police? Man, just hold tight. They coming. 45 minutes later, they was raping one of the roommates. And they called and said, look, one of my roommates is getting raped. Can you send the police? They on their way. Man, 2 hours later, all three women got raped. And they had them do all kind of stuff to each other. And the two guys left on their own. They tried to sue the police department, and the courts ruled that it's not the police job to protect people. It's the police department job to protect criminals in custody until they turn them over to DOC. And it's also the police department job to write a report of a crime. We don't know that though. And then when you pull that case up, 10 to 15 other cases where the courts ruled that it's not their job to protect you. So whose job is it? That's what I come in. It's your job. Yeah. It's my job. Because logically, all right, the FBI, how that from the time, have you ever been robbed or home invasion?
Man, I was carjacked.
Carjacked, okay.
In 2005 or 2004, with me and my wife and one of my cousins.
With your wife? I had a friend of mine, a business associate of mine. Him and his wife was carjacked, and it would save them as his wife's gun. Yeah. She had a gun. That's what saved them. But from the time a crime or a shooting happened, I'm gonna use FBI statistics, their data, because I know personal experiences. I can tell you how the police took different times, 45 minutes, an hour. I just gave you a case law where it took 2 hours. But the FBI use a number and say it take 3 minutes from the time, a shooting happened for the call to go out to the police. Hey, police, we just had a shooting out front of our house. Can you send somebody? Take 3 minutes. And then from the time the call go out from the time the police arrive is 15 minutes. So that's 18 minutes. And then the FBI use a number for the response time from the time the call go. Oh, no, not the response time. I gave you the response time, but the actual time that it's over, from the time an attack or a shooting happened, they use a number say it's over within 3 minutes. So what did that tell you? It's still 15 minutes too late to save you.
Yeah.
All they can do is write the report.
Yeah.
They can't save you. Right. So what I teach is your job to protect yourself. The best thing to stop a bad person with a gun is a good person with a gun. Ain't no other way. And if you can you find out a better way?
No, I mean that's common sense.
It's but it's not. That's need to be the new stand. That's
right.
That's my purpose.
Right.
To make that normal.
Right.
Yeah. I gotta make it normal.
I mean, sometimes when you have these conversations, it just comes to the reality that, you got a good person and a bad person. We talk about guns. I watch a lot of westerns all the time, right? And back then, they would walk around with guns on their side, and they would shoot people. And you call him? They would shoot people just unconditionally.
On a western movie?
Yeah, and I was always saying to myself, how is it that they could get away with that, right? Mm-hmm. And society made it look like it was okay for white America to legally kill people. I mean, and we're not just talking about guns, but we talk about even public hangings and stuff. They've been doing that. But where we at right now is just a stereotype.
Yeah. So
the importance for the community to be able to understand, and that is that it's okay for you to purchase a gun legally to be able to protect your home, your family, your property, your business.
Absolutely.
And really your life.
Your life.
Absolutely. And when the guy carjacked us, he put it was like an AR,
like a short barrel rifle or a long barrel rifle.
Long barrel.
Okay.
He put it in my chest, and I'm standing there, and it was really, it took me way back on several levels. But the one thing that it really made me feel so insignificant at that time.
Oh my God, I felt that at 13. I felt that.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking
about.
And
you be like, you're so helpless
helpless.
that it's nothing that you can do but beg for your life.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for my wife and my cousin at the time. Now, what do we tell the people out here who literally are afraid of the weapon themselves?
That's a good. I'm glad you asked. So we start off. First of all, we start off with safety, right? That's what I started with my children. Before my children even touch the gun, we're going over the universal safety rules. Everything is safe,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I started with that. We're going to start with safety, but there's so many other things that we teach, right? Developing a personal home protection plan. We go over a protection plan, like
Okay.
which is uh, it's equal to what it's just as important as a fire drill is to a home or a school,
Okay.
right? Why do they have a fire drill? They do fire drills so you can have a plan,
Right.
and if a fire happens,
Yes.
right? But that plan is in place because it limit the amount of casualties that happen, right? So when you don't have a plan, this person going that way, that person going that way, you don't know what exits to go. A lot of casualties happen that way.
That's
But
right.
the studies show that when you have a plan, you can get more people out safe.
Yeah.
Same thing with we develop a personal home protection plan. In an event of a home invasion, you have home invasions is real, right?
Yeah.
And we have a plan in place. Also, like what you was in public said, they came to you in a car. We do situational awareness. I call it 360 degrees of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
When you, cause the further, if you're aware, when you're not distracted, a lot of times people are distracted by the phones, devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're aware of your situation, you can make better decisions.
Yes.
And the best way to survive, the only guaranteed way of surviving a violent encounter is avoid it in the first place. So we teach you how to be situationally aware,
Yeah.
and that way, the further away you can see a potential threat, you can avoid it.
Yes.
Right.
I mean that I'm listening. This is what we're talking about. I'm telling for the viewers. I want to take this opportunity to say that this is why it's important to have individuals who know about armed weapons and things like that to come on and educate us, put us in a position where we know and learn. Because it's not just having a gun and pulling the trigger, but it's knowing how to be safe with it and then avoid putting yourself in these areas where you sometimes kind of be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And if you're aware of the environment and stuff like that, that makes a big difference. So what you're saying is making so much sense. And that's where, as a people,
Mm-hmm.
and this really, we can't make this a racial thing, okay?
Right.
Well,
yeah, you're right, but that's I'm serving a need, a purpose. We lacking.
Right.
I gotta bring us up to speed.
Right.
So that's what it's not a racial thing, but we have a unique thing. It's only our group is saying stay away from guns.
Yeah. Oh no, and I get that.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
When I say it's not a racial thing, I'm not saying that it's a thing where we're saying we got to get guns because we want to go kill other people.
Oh no.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fact is that we want to be as well equipped as everyone else.
That's it. We the best first responder for ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. All right. So Brandon Scott done a interview on the Breakfast Club, right? So he said it's not the police job. It's not their job to protect you, right? It's not their solely. It's not their individual job to protect you. He said it's not even possible. What he said, and which he's right. It's over. I think it's 600 million people in Baltimore. 600,000. All right, and it's about 2,000 police in Baltimore. And if you do that math, if you divide the amount of police amongst the citizens, it's like 220. It's 220 people per one police, and all of those police work on different shifts. They can't protect all of us.
Right.
It's your job.
Yeah.
They can't even if they try their best.
Right.
There's not enough of them.
Right.
You understand?
Mm.
They can't. So we had a false sense of security. Another thing that we believe, the more gun reform, the more gun laws, the harder they make it to get guns. We've been taught that that's making us safer. And I want to ask you, go for
Man,
it.
no,
Go ahead.
no. I point because that is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's actually reverse psychology on
It's,
you.
come on now.
You know, to make you say, "Hey, you know, I ain't getting one because we gonna be safe." But for real, everybody that's struggling, what they doing, they going out getting them guns. We got individuals who really know. They saying, "Hey, we getting as many as we can."
Yeah.
You know, down in the country.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's keep it real. We talking down the country,
Uh-huh.
which we know most of them young boys down there be shooting what 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They know about guns.
Yeah.
They know about the safety. They know about how to put the trigger on. You know the
They can
lock
shoot
on.
on target.
They can
They
shoot on
groupings,
target.
their groupings is like this.
Yes.
And we still got people 60, 70, and 80 years old never picked up a gun.
You said something that's so profound, and this is something that when we're talking about education and about gun laws and having a plan, I thought that was really powerful what you said. And the reason why I said it because I'm a Marine, so I can protect myself. But what I haven't done, I haven't educated my wife on where I got everything placed in the house.
Absolutely.
Right? And I'm going to do that. I told her maybe a week ago, I said, babe, I placed a gun at this certain area. I wanted her to know. But I didn't even show her. Now, reason why I'm thinking about this is because when you said having a plan, it's not so much the plan to, because you think something's going to happen, but it's being prepared.
Being prepared. That's what it's about. Being prepared. Being proactive.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why that's important. We had a student when I was going over a checklist of developing a personal home protection plan. One of them was have a designated, like in a fire drill. When everybody get out, don't go back in the house. Go to have a designated neighbor house. Look, you go to Brother Harley house. Whoever make it out the house, go across the street to Brother Harley house. That's part of the plan. That way, we not just picking which neighbor we in a distress situation.
Right,
Everybody at a different house. Some people going back trying to get the other family member. The plan was to go to Harley house.
Yeah.
So I'm sharing that in the class, and a young lady broke out in tears, and she shared this with the class. She said, "You know what? I got raped. A guy climbed in my apartment building, and my baby was 1 at the time, and my baby sleep with me. I was a single mother. A guy climbed in my window and raped me in front of my baby. And when he left out, I ran hysterical, knocking on every door, and nobody wouldn't let me in." He said, by like the 9th door, one person said, "Stand out there, honey. Can't let you in here, honey, but I'll call the police." And she had to stand out in the hallway naked because there was no plan. But she like, that would have helped if she would have had a designated person. She'd have went straight to that house.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Just having having a plan in place.
So right now, how would people get in? Let's now tell people how to get in touch with you.
Okay.
What would be their first step to be able to set up to get educated about knowing how to handle a firearm, and then also the process of being able to learn how to use it and carry?
I have a few things. All right, you can get in touch with me on Instagram. Where to look?
Okay, you can just
Anyway,
right there.
Okay, Instagram, Defense 360 MD, and also on Facebook, Defense 360. My website is mydefense360.com. But I have a few different things for people who is anti-gun or people that just feel like I'm nervous. I want to recommend becoming a host an event from your neighborhood association. It could be your boat club. It could be your church, a relatives group, any group that you in, or a group of friends. Become a host, and I'll do a free pop-up training, a 2-hour pop-up training. You host it, you invite all your friends, and I come and do like an introduction.
I like that. Yeah.
Just an introduction, and answer as many questions as possible.
Yes.
Right? And do that. And that's for the people who on the fence, who not sure. Just become a host. Reach out to me. My number is 443-764-9030. Become a host. That's one thing. If you're nervous, if you're on the fence.
Say the number one more time.
The number is 443-764-9030. For people who know for sure that's what they want to do, I am the right company. This is purpose driven. I did this for 9 years before incorporating this as a business, and in 4 years I became number one, 5-star rated on USCCA, 5-star rated on Google. For anybody who know for sure this is what they want to do, you can reach out to me on the website, the phone number. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll be happy to set you up with a class. But my calendar, all of the days open for classes, for training, is on the website. And if you want a private class for like a lot of business owners like myself, they got crazy schedules. The private classes is available online, and also the classes that I do bi-weekly. I think that is it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Again, for all those who are not familiar with owning a weapon and how important it is to be able to protect yourselves, this will be an individual you'll want to talk to be able to really get the proper information, because it's not just having a gun. The gun is not the problem. Never the gun, because the gun can't do nothing by itself.
Cars kill more people than guns. Kitchen knives kill more people than guns.
Yeah.
I wanted to put one other thing to rest. The more gun restrictions and the gun laws, the more restrictions only help the criminals get you.
Yeah.
It don't help keep us safer.
Right.
Because what it do is put the burden and make it harder for the people that abide by the law. The more laws they put out, it only affect law-abiding citizens. It don't affect the streets.
See, come on.
I never heard nobody on the streets when they passed the SB1 bill, and I never heard nobody talking about the laws that got passed. Oh, they just passed the SB1 bill. The streets not talking about that, because on the streets you can get a gun in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you and me gotta go find a class and spend 16 hours in the class, right?
Yeah.
Then we gotta wait 30 days after we submit our application to become licensed
to carry.
No, to become able to purchase a gun. And then when you find a gun, you gotta wait 7 days before you can get it. And then it take 3 months to be able to carry them in public. So how did that make sense with a person threatening, we're gonna come back? Because I know a family that was killed for just telling people to stop selling drugs on their house, in front of their door. I also have a friend who told 3 guys could they take the selling drugs up the street, and they came back and shot at them, right? So when somebody come back, we're gonna come back here and get you. You mean to tell me they can go grab a gun in 10, 15 minutes and come back and shoot your house up or shoot at you? But it's gonna take me 2 days in a class, 30 days to get approved, 7 days to wait for it once I find it, and 90 days to be able to go outside my house with it. Don't make sense.
Not at all.
My other thing is, right now, let's put that to rest. The more gun restricted, it put the burden on you and me. The streets don't care.
Right.
The other thing is, we feel safe, because I don't want us to have a false sense of security. I want us to be safe for real.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Gun-free zones and no-shoot zones. It's 90% of shootings happen in the gun-free zones. But right now, when we see gun-free zones, we feel safer. It's false.
Right.
90% of shootings happen in gun-free zones.
And that's because the illegal guns are all over the place.
And they see a sign, they know I'm more likely to be, because they're not going to have guns.
Right.
Because it say gun-free and they listen to the law. I'm okay here. You're not going to come in a place.
Right.
How many gun shows or gun ranges been robbed or shot up?
None. We don't even hear about that.
Yeah.
Because they know they got something in there to retaliate.
I could talk all day, but I got another thing I want to share. And if you want to close, you can.
No, we good. We
Okay,
good.
we
Come on, come
good.
on. Yeah, yeah.
So I got a video we show. So remember what was that, South Carolina, the church shooting happened?
Yeah.
Right? You remember
Right. I
that?
remember that.
He went into that church, that Bible study. They prayed with him. They prayed with him in that church, and he shot everybody. He shot everybody. He let one person live. Right? Because I teach that the only thing you can do when you don't have a gun is wait for your time to die. You don't know if you're going to be first. You don't know if you're going to be, maybe if you run, scream, and cry, and beg, and pray enough, maybe you be the 7th person that died.
Yeah.
Maybe the 10th.
Yeah.
But he let one person live. He didn't even have a scar on him when he left that church. He didn't even have a hole in him, a scratch on him. That's why he let the one person live. He said, because I want you to tell people what you seen me do to y'all. He let them live.
Yeah.
And then I got a video, because we've been taught, we've been taught to stay away from guns. And I even been told from my own spiritual brothers and sisters that because I had a gun, I didn't have faith in God. I've heard, he witnessed them tell me, Brother Harley, he said, well, I don't put my faith in no gun, right? I put my faith in God. But we know people go in churches and shoot them up.
Yeah.
But I got a video of a church, well, a white church, what seemed to be the safest church to be. He went in, the guy went inside that church and shot. He got one shot off and was shot that fast. And he was shot once that fast, and at least 7 to 10 other people with guns was coming in case he needed more shots at him.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. It's just amazing, again, how we are programmed to believe certain things, and thinking about that now is I'm and we started a little late, so we're gonna run over in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, but what I want to do is right now I want to make it a point that you come back. Okay. Because this is not enough time to talk about this.
Yeah.
I realize how important it is.
It's real
really important.
Yeah.
And we need our people. I'm talking, when I say our people, again, I don't talk as a racist, but I talk as a realist.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, we got so many, like down in Florida, we got people down there that carry guns openly.
It's a pro-gun state. We're in an anti-gun state.
Right.
The people that protect our political interests really not comfortable with us.
But because and the reason being, it's a lot of us up here, and it's a lot of us up here that they want to have that jurisdiction over to dictate how we move. But what happens is, because of the lack of education, we now encourage all the young people to break the law. When they can
say that, explain that. Explain what you mean.
Meaning, by us telling them that you have to go through these procedures.
Yeah. And they just moved the age. In 2023, they moved it from 21 from 18 to 21.
Right.
But most people I know been shot and robbed before they was 21.
Come on.
But then they would let you go protect the country at 18. You could sign up and fight and protect the country with a gun at 18, but you only can protect yourself if you're 21.
But it's, again, this is why lack of knowledge, lack of information is really a control to keep people in the blind. So when we have individuals like yourself who can educate, I like, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it an opportunity that I would host, because I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so I would love for you to be able to
show up. I be mobile.
Yeah.
We show up wherever you at.
And
or you can come to our facility.
Yeah. And make it where then what you can do is you can educate these individuals. And I'm talking about men and women. More so women.
Women are the fast since 2020. They are the gun ownership is changing. Black women.
Oh yeah.
58% of new gun sales reported, all right, was African Americans. Out of that 58%, it's like 70% were women.
Yeah.
So I take my hat off to
Oh
women.
yeah.
There's a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah.
You know, some reasons is some of their because they understand. Some of them single, some of them see the importance of it,
Yeah.
and also some of them don't. I had a young lady come to my class and crying. She didn't want. She was scared of guns. She did it for her family because her husband legally couldn't. She said, "I'm doing this for my family. I don't even want to be here, but my husband don't have the right. They won't restore his rights to protect his family."
Yeah. Me and my wife I've mentioned it here and there. I want to take her to the range. My wife shot a gun before, and actually, we was not maybe about 7, 8, 9 months ago. I just
That's
purchased.
good. I appreciate you for doing. That's a good thing to do. Good bonding. Good thing to do with your wife.
Yeah, I actually we was looking at some guns, and I asked her which one did she like, and she was looking at them, and I was like, okay, we gonna get it. I purchased at that time I had purchased shotgun. I like to have different type of arms.
I recommend. Come on, man. I recommend it. You need to be because who know how, you don't know how you're gonna have to protect yourself.
Bro, believe me.
You need one in every category and train on each. And hopefully you never have to. But if you do, you train.
Look, I mean, some people be laughing at me, and they laugh at me, right? Because I don't have a problem with showing them.
Yeah.
Because I want them to know.
Yeah.
And I got a little sign on my door that says we call a coroner. We don't call 911.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
that's a warning right there.
That's a warning.
That's a warning.
And
so if they come, they must was
right. And this is something that all my family members know about me, and this is real. When coming up, I always used to keep my door unlocked, right? Because I feel that anybody came to my house pretty much was welcome. But anybody that entered my house that wasn't welcome, I was going to be able to defend my family. Okay? And I'm not scared to use it. So I'm not doing it to be no bully or to hurt or take nobody's life, but I will to protect my family and my loved ones. And also, I joined the Marine Corps to protect my country. Okay? So I've earned that. That's how I feel. I've earned the right.
A lot of people, you speaking about your right. I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people sacrificed and died for us to exercise this right.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite quotes. A lot of us talk about the right to vote. We vote. We go put on. We leave out with the button.
But
and say, I just came up with something. I came up with a good idea. They leave out with a button, say I voted. They feel like they've done their part. Frederick Douglass had a quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. He said, "A man's rights rest in the ballot box. That's the right to vote, right? The jury box. That's in court, sitting on it, being judged amongst one of your peers, and a box of bullets, a bullet box. So voting and guns go hand in hand. So you can't make the argument that my ancestors died for my right to vote and you don't own a gun.
Right.
They go hand in hand. Our ancestors fought and died and marched. One of my favorite speeches, Malcolm X had a speech called "The Ballot or the Bullet." They go hand in hand. Read that. I encourage everybody to. It's on YouTube. Listen to that speech.
So man, what really, and I'm sitting here again. This is another reason why it is imperative that we support the People to People podcast. I bring this to bring information to people and let people know. When I say people to people, that's me, you, and them. Okay, them being whoever you want them to be. Power to power, the power we possess, the power they possess, the power we possess together. The positive thinking people, right? Now, follow me with this. When we talk about the power they possess, the power we possess, those are the areas where we are able to protect ourselves, just like the man across the street, the man down the road, or the woman, right? We should have that right. And we have to use these platforms to get information out so people can know how to make that plan to be able to protect themselves. And that's something that I'm man, when I tell you, we learn something every day, because I just learned that today.
What?
About the plan.
Okay, the plan, having a plan.
I mean,
Just having a plan.
having a plan. But it's not just about the gun. I'm talking about the plan.
Right,
Period.
that's a fact.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
So when my grandkids, I got 11 grandkids, and now from now on, when each one of them come in, we're gonna have these conversations. Promise you, after this evening, me and my wife gonna have this
Have
conversation.
a plan.
When we get in the house, she don't know where I got every one of them playing. I got them on every floor. I do that not because I'm scared. It's because I want to be prepared. But I just told her the other day, and I said, babe, I put a gun in a certain area.
Right.
And I wanted her to know because I'm also being proactive as far as like when people and family around. I don't want her to say, oh, go get this over there, and the gun is in there, and they're not aware, or somebody pick it up and something go wrong.
Yeah.
So that was part of the reason why I told her. But now I understand the importance of a plan. So
yeah, and part of your, what I do, because I have partnerships. I've been building partnerships all over the country, and over the like I said, I've been legally carrying when I was this over 14 years ago. When I go to the gun ranges and gun shows, I only other person I seen that looked like me. I might see one other person, but it was more like you because it was either ex-military or ex-police. But just regular people at the gun range, it wasn't happening. I was only the only one there for at least like 6 or 7 years. But over these 14 years, I've been building up a network all over the country, especially since I've been a firearm instructor. August next month make 4 years, and I've been building up this network of people who respect doing business with us. Because at one time I was going to gun shows with Confederate flags all over the place. I couldn't pay them enough to do business with me.
what's the name of your company?
My company is Defense 360. Defense
Okay.
360.
Defense
Defense
360.
360.
Okay.
I've been building this network, and one of the networks is for people that do. This go with developing a personal home protection plan. I got a partnership with Hidden Door Stores. If you want like secret passage doors in your house, but nobody knows it's a door.
Yeah.
And if you want to create a panic room,
Yeah.
and you can use my discount code, you can get 10% off.
Don't
That's for your house.
Man, I'm telling you, but you don't know how important this information is. And believe it or not, I'm really, really impressed. Kudos to our friend Harley.
Oh yeah. He felt it. We pray together every morning for We pray together every morning for at least 15 years.
A lot of people may not understand, but Harley is actually in this room right now. So
yeah.
y'all hear
Our
like
ghost
we
face.
talking like he ain't
Ghost
here.
face.
He just ain't in the view of the camera, but he's in here. A real good brother.
And so that's the first protection, because a lot of people think, we pray over our families.
Yeah.
We pray over our community hard.
Yeah.
For 15 years.
Yeah.
So the gun is if something penetrating and with a prayer didn't stop it, we not turning the other cheek.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Well, you know something.
We prayed up and we dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. With that, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you. A lot of people know. I'm not doing. I'm gonna tell you right now. Again, when it comes to my family, I don't play. I ain't the one.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little incident some years ago. I never forget. My neighbors, we had some drug problems on my block.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And so I stepped outside, and the youngers, they running their mouth down. These are illegal. Now, at the time, my guns are not stolen.
Mm-hmm.
My guns are bought,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have bodies on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
He said at the time it didn't. I quote that.
Yeah, but so I had to deal with a situation where I put some heat on somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, man, you shooting at, well, they violated my home.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was me and my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
some drug boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they was talking about, and then they tried to assault one of my neighbors. And I was like, yo, bro, y'all not doing that.
Yeah.
And so, I came out with some heat. And and I did what I did. I ended up, this was the funniest thing, right? This was so funny. You know, they locked me up. They
Yeah.
locked me up
Yeah.
for defending my home
Yeah.
and my neighbor.
It's state versus you.
Yeah.
The state that they saying that's going to protect you.
Right. So they locked me up, and the only thing that really helped me at the time, because at this time they was having some gun problems. They was talking about automatic 7 years for having the possession of a gun, right? And so all my neighbors wrote letters down to the court talking about how I protect the neighborhood and so forth and so on, and that I was a law-abiding citizen. So
Mm-hmm.
and the one thing, so they ended up dropping the charges and everything. Yeah, I did. You know,
That you had to sit in jail, or you got out on bail?
no, they kept me in overnight,
Okay.
and then they let me out the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, I because of the situation, but so many, all my neighbors that wrote letters,
Mm-hmm.
they end up throwing it out
Mm-hmm.
because the three guys were criminals,
Mm-hmm.
and they were drug distributors,
Yeah.
and they didn't even live on my block,
Yeah.
and they was trying
That's
to,
what it always.
yeah.
I went through something similar.
yeah, and it just to a point that it just got out of hand. I did what I did, and not to brag about it because I was still just protecting my neighbor and my
That's
family.
what you're supposed to.
Yeah, but I wanted them to know I'm not the one.
And that's the generation that that's what I'm pushing. Just because we parents, working, church, uh, coaches, don't mean we just you just gonna come and just push us over and just violate it. We stand up for ourselves.
Yeah, and we have to do that against the criminals. And the criminals come in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just black people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talking about, I love the fact when you said, what is a certain person with their ethnic background? What are they?
Yeah.
How do we classify them?
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of times that's the way that it is. I tell you, my brother, man, it is, it's just amazing what this country has done to us and blindsided us in areas of the truth and how we move.
There's a lot of things that I forgot, and you keep you. There's a reason you say certain things that they bring me back to it. When you said blindsiders, I just shared laws. I'm gonna use the laws as saying chains. At one time, the chains was on our wrists and on our ankles, right? And that's them laws that said slaves can't own guns. They did that because they didn't want us to rebel,
Right.
right? They didn't want us to revolt.
Right.
And then when we freed us, they said we don't want these black code laws, right? They said the freedmen can't own guns. This, I'm gonna call those chains that's on us.
Yeah.
But the chains are gone, and we still operate as if those laws are there. And that's when I'm trying to set us free and take those chains off our brains, off our minds. I don't know, you know, like if you train an elephant on a chain tied to a tree from the time it's a baby, right? He'll just keep going to the end of that chain snag, and he won't go further than that. Even when he gets strong enough where he can pop it,
he can pop it.
He just been used to that. As soon as it stop him, he pull back and won't stop, won't pop the chain, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying the chain is gone. So when they take the chain off the elephant, he still only go in this perimeter,
right?
And that's the mental thing that's blocking us.
You know, somebody said this, and I remember this. We was talking to what's my man who was married to Kim Kardashian?
Kanye.
Mm-hmm. Kanye said one time, he said that slavery is a state of mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with him 100%.
Yeah, I agree. He said slavery was a choice.
Yes.
It was a choice.
Isn't it?
The choice was give me liberty or death.
There you go. Come on,
that
bro.
That was the choice.
Man, you know, we running out of time. So, you know, I ran over because we ran into a little, something had happened with the computer. But, Eric, bro, I am really, really impressed with you, my man.
I appreciate you for bringing me here, man, and sharing your platform. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm. What I want to do is real soon. Let's make it again.
Yeah, I'm on your time.
Okay, so let me know. I want to have you to come back in because we need to talk more about this. For everybody that tuned in, I want y'all to understand that this young man has taken the time to get the proper information to help us to be moving forward, to learn how to protect ourselves properly, legally, and the way that we should in this country. And I want you to reach out to him. You can go back. I'm gonna have him just before we shut down. I wanted him to give you his telephone number and contact information for you to get in touch with him. He will come and educate you personally, or you come to his classes. I again ask that you support the People podcast with these type of things, so that we can get the information out in the community, so that people know that we have a choice and a voice. How did he get in touch with you again?
All right. My phone number is 443. You can call me at 443-764-9030. My website is mydefense360.com. The Instagram is Defense360MD, and Facebook is, you can follow me on Facebook. That is Defense360. You can get in touch with me in all of those different options, all of those platforms. And just feel free to reach out, ask any questions you want, set up a class, or become a host. And I'll show up and bring my team, my network. And like I said, our class is not just more. I don't even like calling it a class. If you read our reviews, it's an experience. I bring my life to it. I bring my life to these classes. It's an experience. It's also a networking. Our affiliate partnership is continuously growing. As it grows, we share it with everybody, and that's the value in what we bring. We don't market our class. We don't market our experience on trying to be cheap, or cheap. The value is priceless. It's a big value that we bring. So just feel free to reach out to me.
Hey, as you know, here it is. It's people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I ask all those that are watching, go back and let people watch this program. Tell them about this possibility for them to get educated on how to protect themselves against the criminals, people out here committing the crimes. Don't wait till it's too late. You have the right to have the firearms in your possession just as well as the criminals, to be able to protect your family and your home and protect your country. My brother Eric, man, I appreciate you so much, man. It's an honor, man. I promise you, I want you to come back. And y'all remember, it's people to people, power to power, positive thinking people.
Peace.